Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, so I didn't review what this level was about. I totally forgot. But in interesting news, I think the next two levels, including this one, so this one and the next one, are actually both shorter than the previous one. So that's kind of funny, which I have mentioned before. It really feels like a lot of the levels in this game just are meant to pad the time out, and each, what are they called? Each movie runs for like 90 minutes or so while in the game, which is less time than maybe closer to 2 hours. How long did it take me? There's 9 movies and it took me like 11 hours to beat, so maybe more like an hour and 10 minutes. I think that's probably more accurate. I don't know, whatever it is. Oh, Phasma, that's right. Okay, we're gonna give Phasma a better death in the game than she got in the 8th movie. So that's what this whole level is about. Once we do the little corridor walking and cutscene jumping, we actually get to fight the Phasma boss, and this is cool. Okay, now I remember. I did look at this. Okay, this is actually a fun little level too. I had fun with this fight, and it did just make me more sad about how they treated Phasma in the movies, because she deserved better. So, first of all, we need to drop a couple of TIE fighters on her, and I don't really know how that hurt her, because it looked like the wings were kind of preventing the TIE fighter from hitting her at all, and the TIE fighter didn't really explode, but anyway, on the conveyor belt, knocked that helmet right off that, right off that stormtrooper. Anyway, on that strange conveyor thing up on top, we'll just shoot those targets, and then we can drop more TIE fighters on top of her. Some of them are empty, of course, so we'll just want to wait until one that is full comes by. But that only works for the first health bar or so. So she has 3 total health bars, and then she's going to jump over some of the walkers onto the left here. And there's going to be some nice cover given to us, not that I ever really make use of it in this game. And then we can blow up some of the stormtroopers that are here. It looks like there's going to be some kind of headless walker. Oh, the droid is controlling it. He's going to walk on over and see you later. I guess we don't really see him for a while now. And then a beam is going to fall from the sky. Like, just so much is happening in this level. This was one of those ones that I actually thought was pretty fun. And it is short. They could have had a little bit of a build-up before we got straight to the boss, but, you know, what can you do? We can jump inside of the gun here, and we're not actually going to be able to blow up that silver part for a while. We're not going to be able to blow it up with the gun. We need to get up closer to it, and I think Finn does have, yes, he does have a grenade that we can chuck on there. So that'll blow up after a second or two, and now we can blow up that fuel cell. I have no idea what that could possibly be. But whatever it is, that will send Phasma flying down and then up, and then take a lot of health out of her. And that's how we took off a third-ish of her health bar, so now we can take off another third by jumping back into the gun, and I think we can just shoot her shield and take out some health from her that way, but I don't remember what order I did these in. So there's just a couple of different things that we're going to have to do first to actually take out the rest of her health. And let's see, what order did I decide to go with when I did this? I cannot remember. I'm going to blow up that box, and then my NPC friend is going to rebuild the cover, which doesn't really do me any good. Like, okay. I guess I didn't know what I was doing right now either. Alright, looks like I go back into the gun, and we can, yep, we can shoot the shield, and we just have to shoot her once, so there goes another third of her health, but I believe she'll blow up the gun, or do I just use the gun again? Oh, I can just use the gun again, okay. Huh, interesting, I thought I had to do something more there, guess not. Alright, so that's the second health bar. She's gonna jump on over the walkers over to the right side now. And we won't even have to move a finger. The game will move us for us into this new third of the arena. And same thing, we're just going to have to figure out how can we take out all of the rest of her health with the tools that we will soon be given. So there's going to be a couple of the... yeah, the guy with the jetpack's going to be flying around. I didn't notice that he did that before. That's actually really funny. And then more stormtroopers that we can beat up. And I just couldn't really decide, like, shooting stormtroopers is a little easier because you take their helmet off and then one headshot and they die right away, or beating them up is a lot of fun because I did do a pretty good job with the feel of the combat in this game. I mean, everything does feel pretty smooth. Yes, I forgot to cut this out. I was wondering why there was a dead spot in the timeline. I was looking at the video and there's like a section with no audio, and that usually means I paused, but I didn't check it, so my controller battery died, and I had to change those out because I play this on PC with an Xbox controller, and in my opinion, thankfully, the Xbox controllers still use AA's because those batteries are very easy to replace, unlike the rechargeable ones in the Sony controllers, which die after like 4 or 5 years, and then you have to take the whole controller apart to replace those, and it's just kind of annoying. So I kind of get why Sony has those rechargeable batteries, but I kind of appreciate Microsoft letting me use rechargeable AA's also, because then the controllers last a heck of a lot longer for me. But anyway, that's what I had to do there. I had to swap out the AA's, grab them from the remote, just like in the old days. I don't know if kids today know what that's like anymore, but that's what I would do growing up. When the controller would die in my Game Boy, I'd take the batteries, or when the batteries would die in my Game Boy, I would take the batteries out of the TV remote, and then always deal with the aftermath of why isn't the remote working later on, because I was more interested in my game than I was about whether or not my parents could watch TV. Although TVs back then still had buttons. You know, remotes weren't always great. They're still not great, but back then remotes or TVs had buttons on them. Today, TVs don't really have buttons anymore. They might have like a button to turn it on, but everything's done on the remote anymore. Okay, so we can pick up a gun inside of that chest, and these guns have a lot of ammo, a lot more than they normally do, so we can just use that to shoot at Phasma. And just make sure you aim carefully and give her a couple of seconds so we can get rid of her shield and then take her out with her final hit. And that'll be the end of Phasma once Finn runs over, picks up just a conveniently placed stormtrooper weapon, and then beats the trash out of her. Or by beat the trash, I mean knocks like an eyelid off of her helmet and she falls to her death in the flames. You know, not really super... Not a well-deserved death for a character that should have been way cooler than she ended up being. And then we're going to get into this headless walker, and we're going to take it to the other end of the arena. So we got to do a little bit of zigzagging because, you know, they gotta they gotta make the level hit 5 minutes long at least somehow. And it's just going to be mostly walking right through all the enemies that are shooting us. And once we make it to the TIE fighter, that's not a TIE fighter, whatever the heck that is, that'll be it for the level.